I'm using these YONICO cope and stick shaker style router bits to cut the drawer faces. Here's the template. I cut this and tested it for a fit and to make sure I could get all the joints lined up. I'm using a 1/2 inch piece of plywood for the panel, not a 1/4 inch. And to do that, I had to cut off the back of the dado on each of these pieces of wood on the outside. On the actual drawer faces, I did not cut all the way through like I did on these tests. So I took a router bit, a 1/2 inch dado router bit like this, and that's what I used to remove just this inner part. I left the two sides. It gives a better fit on the outside pieces when it's all going together. More glue surface, better fit. Now, one thing I found useful when I was going to route all these pieces, because I've got them all cut already, is to mark each one of them. You know the back is going to be up when you're routing on these bits. And so I mark the back and which face I want to cut. And I've done that for all of these so that it should make batching them out a lot easier. And I won't forget what I'm doing as I'm going. I like to start with this bit, which you have to cut all of your pieces. This will cut like this through here. And then, like I said, I ended up removing this back piece so that I can, if you imagine just from here back, so that's where the 1/2 inch plywood panel will fit. So it's super important that you get this distance from this edge here to the back panel is going to be 1/2 inch, or whatever the thickness of your plywood is. Now that I have all the rebates routed in the inside faces, I just need to route the edge so they line up like this. This router bit will cut like this. And when aligning it, you just make sure that the cutter heads are aligned with the existing rebate. So they'll be lined up like this. It's actually pretty easy to align this. Now I think this is aligned pretty well right now, but before I make a bunch of expensive firewood, I'm going to go ahead and cut a test piece and just try it out. Yet another reason why marking the back face is useful. You always want to make sure that you can see the back face is facing up. If you always have the back facing up when you're running it through the bits, they'll match when you go to put them together. The rebates will be all correct. The other thing is when you're flipping, you have to rebate both this side, and when you're doing that, don't flip it this way. That will screw everything up. So always want to see the back. And you flip it this way, and everything should be fine. I'm going to go ahead and rip off this back edge of the dado, this one right here, so that the panels will sit flush on the inside of the rails. I moved the fence right up close to the router bit. That way I can use the fence as a guide and align this with the fence, push it on, go to this side, hits this fence, then I can route out the rebate. I'm dry fitting all of the drawer faces and getting them ready for glue up, and that includes squaring off these edges. They're rounded because of the router bit. It also includes sanding just a little bit off of each of these tenons and cleaning up the burrs left over, or this just this stuff left over from the router.